it is just a goddamn circus. You watch a low stress level game and you can just hear the music going in the background. Like, people do some bananas things. Back, everyone. It is Sunday. It is viewer games. We don't have the usual stuff up here because I was streaming earlier and we're just jumping into things. No countdown needed. We do, in fact, not have the right thing on screen because for some reason, there we go. I don't know what the hell Obs is doing. We do, in fact, have the Dead Rising. That's the event going on. Why is this so loud? So we're going to be looking at some viewer games. I have to let everybody know, of course, that I am part of the content affiliate program. That means that the Phobies team does, in fact, give me coffee for producing Phobies content. You can tell because of that coffee total over there. We're going to be jumping in. We do have a bunch of repeats. I'm a little warmed up, as you can tell, because I was doing a stream earlier. I got to edit a lot of videos for this weekend. We shall see. Sorry, I got some weird notifications in Discord. So unless the card design takes a while to... Oh, that was a comment from before. Tona was responding to a few different things. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is the Painful Fate show tonight. We do have a variety of other people, but we're going to be doing mostly... well, we'll switch to here. It's the Painful Fate show. Painful Fate show. Nuts. No notes, but Painful Fate here on Like and Subscribe. No notes. I'm going to clean up. We're going to lose audio momentarily. I got to clean up the spreadsheet for a second. Probably not going to get anything very interesting here. I mean, the snowball opener on this map is not recommended typically. I don't love that opener, but it doesn't look like Painful Fate is going to have a way to actually punish it. Or choosing not to punish it, I guess. You would punish this if you had the opportunity, I think. So we'll see what we get here. Do have viewers returning since they were kicked out of the stream earlier. Because I had to restart the stream. Firkin to counter the Leela. What? Are you partaking, Painful? Because, why is this happening? Also, this Leela is yet to lay a trap, I think. Oh no, we put the trap up here. Never mind. You put a trap on that panic point. This is bait, presumably to draw the snowball, but the snowball is not going to go in, right? Snowball ain't going in. We got Sizzle coming out because reasons. I don't know. Pescetti. I don't know what's happening here. I'm a little confused. But I do know that Painful Fate is going to need to start addressing this board state pretty soon. We are stabilizing the panic points in our favor, but I feel as though the droney might be an extreme. Like, that just doesn't seem necessary. Admittedly, the cat might escape if you don't kill it right there. Oh, thanks, Stream Elements. I'm now live streaming. Thanks. Been live for like 5 minutes now. Good job. Pescetti infecting Sizzle. It's unfortunate. Unfortunate for Sizzle. So what's good, chat? How's everybody doing out there? Hope you had a good weekend. As we lead into another confusing week in the real world. A little Trivolta action. Freeing up the panic point. How are we doing on heart health? Yeah, we're doing alright. 60% or so. We're above 50. We're not worried. I don't love the retreat from Sizzle. I mean, I guess you could heal it or something. I don't know. You're not going to cure the disease. Bad sheep. You can cure that poison, though. Power down on Trivoltus and no abilities. I don't love these trap placements. I guess they're fine. We've talked about it a lot. Like, putting traps on the panic points isn't great because your opponent often is just going to simply put a one key on there. Now, this setup, like, are we going to get the sheep going all the way in? Just slapping the shit out of that bachelor. I don't know why. I just love the attack animation for Pischetti. He's just, like, slapping the living hell out of him. Oh, there goes Raucous. Sorry, Raucous. Been nice knowing you, pal. Beat down. Beating up the leprechaun. Leprechaun. So they have Hydra as a phobie. Which is a very plain name. But how many other phobies are mythical creatures and, like, they're just named what they are? It's kind of like why is the leprechaun not a leprechaun? Like, is a leprechaun an actual thing? I'm usually pretty good on my mythology, and I do not recognize that. Wow, the disease is actually enough to finish off Trivolta. I'm not gonna lie, it seems like bad guy's doing alright. Okay, we got the jar to finish off. So the sheep didn't really do a damn thing. Panic point, replace. This is kind of a cute sequence, being able to put the trap down and then replace, because your opponent's going to be incentivized to go back there. The problem is that since the Raucous is already diseased, if they suspect a trap, they're just going to send that in. There probably isn't enough time left for Raucous. Raucous is not long for this world. Oh yeah, he's cooked. Bad guy's not in a spectacular position. But they do get a big old chunky... What? Oh, we're gonna kill it. Okay. Fair. Why put the Pischetti there, though? If you're planning on putting it through the middle, you could just put it on... Well, okay, you can't put it where the Maggie is, because then our hero's Maggie claims the stem and clobbers it, so I guess that's fine. But you're just exposed here. Like, this doesn't make any... You're dead anyway. There had to have been a better position for that. Like, look at this jar just sniping. One shot, one kill. Admittedly, it trades, but I'll take that trade. Leela. We were talking... There were actually a lot of comments on my last video because I was talking about Billy. I'm still of the opinion that there are certain things in the game that... Don't get me wrong. There's someone out there for every game mechanic. Just like if you like Pokemon, every Pokemon is someone's favorite. Somebody out there likes the stupid ice cream Pokemon. No one likes that Pokemon. But someone does. And there's a ton of others that are in the same boat where it's like, nobody likes this thing, but yeah, there actually is. Somebody out there likes this. And I look at that in this, like, through the same lens, you could say that there's somebody out there for every strategy. There's somebody out there who enjoys the gameplay loops that are provided by every phobie in the game. They are probably not the majority of players for some phobies. And I think that there are certain things that should never be good. And, like, I think Billy is one of them where, like, I like the idea of the harasser gameplay, and maybe it's necessary to have 3 actions to be able to do it. But it just feels like Billy, I think Leela's in this category, Bad Sushi's in this category. There's a variety of things where it's just like, I don't think there's... It's not about balance. It's just, no matter what, this phobia is not going to be fun. So famously, Marvel Rivals, and I'm sure they're not the first game to do this, but Marvel Rivals had relatively recently nerfed a bunch of characters. I don't like that Hevo positioning, by the way. They're clearly going for the heart. Marvel Rivals had recently nerfed some characters that were already sub 50% win rate. Like, they were not good characters. Like, you shouldn't be playing them. But they nerfed them anyway, even though they technically needed a buff. And the reason being is because the community allegedly hated them. So if the community... I don't understand that trap placement. If the community hates them, there's no point in buffing them because, you know, you're just going to make them more positive. They're going to make them more toxic because they now have a positive win rate and they're unfun. And I think that there's a lot of phobies that kind of go in that category where, yes, I'm sure some people liked whatever those Marvel Rivals characters were. I don't know which ones they were. But if people don't like it, and when I say people, I mean the majority of people, why are we buffing these things? We shouldn't, right? Like, that's the answer. I think there's some gameplay loops, some strategies, some effects, some powers, some whatevers, abilities that should never be good because it is just going to be fucking boring to play against. Like, it's not going to be a fun game, an engaging game, a meaningful game. And like I said, like, I think Leela is one of them. It didn't really come out in this game, but I'm not sure that disease as a whole is a very engaging mechanic. On paper, it makes sense. On paper, it makes sense. And I get the logic of having disease, but I just don't think that it is worth having it as a viable strategy. All right, game number 2 from Painful Fate on whatever the hell this map is called. I forget. Why did Painful submit like 5 more games? I don't know. We're going to be doing like 5 Painful Fate games tonight. And then the other 5 will be everyone else. Last rites. Thank you. I do wish they had like something on the map. Like, what if on the cemetery gates here it said last rites somewhere? Also, when do we get this phobie? What phobie is this supposed to be? Is this supposed to be a jackalope, actually? Because if you look at the tombstones, you can make it like this is... There's a bunch of cats. There's a bunch of things with skulls. Obviously, we have spider phobies. We have owl phobies. We have things that have claws like this. We have a mummy phobie. We have worm phobies. We have dog phobies. I don't know what the sewn bag would be, but like... Is this supposed to be a jackalope? Because it kind of looks like a rabbit. And a jackalope is a cross between a rabbit and a deer and something else. Speaking of jackalopes. Speaking of werewolf. I don't know what the hell bad guy's doing. I'm not real clear on what Painful Fate is doing with his squiggles either, but I mean... It's apparently beating ass. Knocking them teeth in. I was checking something on chat. And I finally started putting toys away. I'm sure you probably noticed. I'm experimenting with a couple things that I want to make some YouTube videos with, but it's slow going figuring out how to do some of the transitions. Like some of the, I'll call them TikTok transitions. Because I see them on YouTube, but I imagine most people are actually posting stuff to TikTok first. There's a couple of toy creators. Not like they make toys, but like they are creators who do stuff with toys that had some really cool stuff that I really enjoyed. And I'm like, that's cool, and it looks fun. So I'm trying to figure out how to do it. And I can't quite get it. I don't know if I need a gimbal, which would be kind of annoying. But I might invest in one. Because, like, there are cheap ones for like 30 bucks on Amazon. Maybe even cheaper. But I don't know if it's actually going to do what I need it to do as far as steadying it because of the way the layout is. But I have some cool ideas, and I'm trying to do it. Dude, is this Squiggles going to close the game? Painful Fate with 25 keys remaining. What has been going on in this game that you still both have so many goddamn keys? I guess I should know because we were watching it, but the question was more rhetorical than anything else. By the way, chat, I started playing a new game called Look Outside. I don't think I'm supposed to laugh as much as I am playing this game. If you were not here for the live stream the other night, it was hilarious. It was a lot of fun. I'm debating putting it on YouTube. I might just straight up pull it and load it up. But, like, it was hilarious. I kind of want to play the game offline, though, just to continue playing. I don't want to spoil it in case people are going to watch it, but, like, it was hilarious, and I'm pretty sure I shouldn't be laughing at stuff that I'm laughing at. The Squiggles lives. The Squiggles dies. The Squiggles go splat. I have a very long to-do list as I'm looking at it right now. Which reminds me, I should start downloading the one video so I don't have to have my PC on all night. I will have to split that video up because I did a big rant in the beginning. Barzilla. Yo, when was the last time we saw Blinky? I will say Painful Fate games are always kind of wild. Because Painful Fate, I'm pretty sure, is a lower stress level player. Which always makes the games hysterical. Because just the phobie choices, the positioning, the wild swings as a result. I remember Cars commenting about this, I was saying, like, oh, you look bored in some of the games. And honestly, it's not because I'm bored. I mean, don't get me wrong. We get some submitted games that are boring. It's like nothing happened in this game. Why did you even submit it? Like, there's context that we're missing on why you wanted us to see this. But for me, it's less about, like, the phobies that are used, the particular strategies necessarily, because that does impact it. But it comes down to, like, you can appreciate a very well-executed high-level game where it's like, oh, you can see that they're playing around this play, like, 3 turns from now, where they set this thing up 5 turns ahead of time, and, like, they're dancing around each other, and it's a very high-level match. Pick, counter picks, positioning battles, stuff like that. A lot happening in between the lines. And then you can also enjoy low stress level games because holy shit, it is just a goddamn circus. You watch a low stress level game and you can just hear the music going in the background. Like, people do some bananas things. Barzilla. Beating ass. Why is there an ace? Did Painful Fate even play a mech this game? I think he had a cowbell and that was it, right? Well, they had a lot of keys, but now they're... I don't think bad guy can kill... Oh, well, he is a noxious. Oof. Just a dead cowbell and K9000? Yeah. Oh, yeah, the K9000. But, like, that's not a reason to put ace on the board. That is absolutely... I got this cool phobia and I'm using it. I got this sweet-ass phobia and you are going to witness me. Shiny and Chrome. That movie was terrible. I don't even remember why I hate... Well, I do remember why I hated it, but, like, I don't really have, like... a quote-unquote real critique for it. I just was bored. Dude, this Barzilla went ham. This Barzilla, we need a kill counter in-game. Like, as part of the observer overlay to see, like, well, how many kills did this Phobie get? Or, like, when you click on... If I pause and I click on a Phobie, I want it to pop up, like, a stat listing here. Or, like, something else I can click on to get a stat listing. So that way, maybe it puts it over here so it's, like, not obstructing gameplay. And then I can be like, oh, well, the cassowary dealt X hundred or 1,000 damage. It's gotten this many takedowns. It was spawned on this turn. You know, stuff like that. It captured this many panic points. It did this much heart damage. It healed this much. Whatever's appropriate. Things that we'll never see because the team just doesn't have time. Too hard to code. I don't think it's too hard to code. I think it's a priority issue. Like, that is not an important thing to have. If you think about it. Like, would it be cool? Yeah. Are you telling me bad guy runs away? I'm gonna be so annoyed. Oh, no, never mind. They stay, and then it's just... Okay. That's fair. But yeah, I think it's just a matter of priorities. Like, it's not a priority for the devs, because why would it be? Who cares? Barzilla. Why the hell not? GG. All right. Whoop, I got out of the profile. Yikes. Didn't mean to do that. We got a few more. Whoop. That's not right. Painful Fate. Copy, paste. Painful Fate. You did favorite this one. All right, once again, Into the Breach. Painful Fate. Still no notes. So I will say, chat, I'm a little disappointed at how Monster of the Week turned out. I talked about it before. I could put in more effort to try and advertise Monster of the Week. Obviously, Miss Cha hosts a tournament. I hope it goes well, and I mean that sincerely. Like, I think I'm just going to let it go for now until we get whatever the changes are. Well, yes, but if it already ended, I mean, okay, then I hope it went well, if you'd rather rephrase it that way. But the day I submitted the matches, the tournament was done, fair. I mean, there are things that could probably be changed, like run it later in the day, but then I need to, because I need to be around to babysit it. It went well according to Miss Shaw, but it was too much work for her. I could have fucking told you that. Like, I would have bet money. Only like $1, but I would have told you that it would have been too much work, because that's exactly... Dude, that's a Shove Shark Electricat. Get wrecked. Hold, wait, what the f... Hold on. Hold, please. What? Oh, because he meatballed. He meatballed. Okay. This was a great play by Painful. Cooking the Inoculus. There was... Bad guy obviously had no idea this was coming. This was sick. This was actually sick. I was too busy talking about tournaments and I almost missed this. Oh my god. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, I could have told you that it was going to be too much work. Because I did that format. It's just like, these things can be done, but you have to assume that everyone who's playing is a moron. And I don't mean that to be insulting. I mean it to explain the level of effort that you have to put in. You have to assume that everyone is an idiot. Because to them, like, if they knew what the answer was, like, if they asked you a question, they would not ask the question if they knew the answer, right? Unless they're trolling. But if they're legitimately asking you a question, they clearly don't know the answer. And if you answered the question already, no matter how many times or how obvious or whatever, it still means that they don't know the answer. So you have to address it, which just adds on, even if it's a minor thing, it just adds on and adds on and adds on and adds on. And it's just, eventually it becomes overwhelming the amount of additional mental workload it is. So you have to operate like, okay, if everyone's an idiot, what do I need to do to make this successful? And then you judge, okay, is this amount of work worth the effort? And that's what I was saying. I think right now it's probably we wait until the devs make whatever changes they're going to, and then relaunch Monster of the Week. Because I don't really see an advantage right now if people aren't interested. And I think the issue is that there isn't enough interest. There's definitely... Why would you heebie-jeebie special here? What does this get you? This is hashtag low stress games. I don't think there's enough interest right now given the current format, for lack of... If you put it in card game terms. Like... The current... Wow, our hero is just, like, smoking bad guy. They're just picking them off left and right. The way the game currently is, even with the bans, I think people are just frustrated and tired. So they don't want to put in the effort. They don't want to play in other events. Like, they do, but they don't at the same time, which sounds weird, but... It's, again, the amount of effort that you have to put in. Banned formats seem to attract quite a bit of players have advertised. I don't agree. Historically, that's not true. That may be the case now. Like, it may have worked. But that has not been true in the past when I've spent effort to advertise it. Plus, the reality is, if a lot of these players are in a different geographic area, therefore time zones become a problem, I am just not going to be available to babysit the event. Since we're not using the bot, and we had issues with the bot when it was automatically notifying people and pinging them constantly, and they still would have issues being on time. We've gotten 60 applicants before when I was doing Fright Night. Not all 60 showed up. I mean, there was a cap, but, like... It comes down to, like, so she chose 8. Let's say there were more. Like, and I'm not knocking it. Like, maybe there are a bunch of people. But the point is this. You could have a lot of people sign up and then have a lot of people... not actually participate because they just disappeared, which is part of why it's extra work. Cooked. Well played, Painful. Well played. That was a pretty cool play towards the early mid-game, I guess. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll do 2 more, oh no, we'll do 1 more Painful Fate game. No, we won't. No, we won't. We do have dupes from PvZ, but we've already done 3 Painful Fate games, so we're gonna switch off Painful Fate. Because if we're gonna do dupes, we already did 3 from Painful Fate. We can do dupes from somebody else. But before we get into that, we, in fact, have a noobsim game. The matches I submit say enough about my gameplay. I don't know what happened from my previous notes. Orthographical blunder. I will just make up excuses. Oh, my God. I don't remember. We were busting noobsim about it. There must have been a spelling error or something. I don't remember. Alright. So we're on Opticon. I haven't seen this map in a while. At least from a submitted game. But yeah, I don't... Are there lots of people that are chomping at the bit for banned tournaments? Yeah, possibly. But... it all comes down to how much effort I need to put in above and beyond. Like, okay, if the answer is we need to advertise more, well, where and how much? Because the post about Monster of the Week has been sitting in the player event forum since forever. If I need to go in and spam Reddit every day and the Discord every day or something like that, I'm just not doing that. And I know other players have tried to bring in their friends or other people that they met through Phobies to play, and that didn't work out. We often fill up the event and then nobody shows up. So, like, that's the other problem, is a lot of people will even though it says there's a wait list, they will naturally assume that if the event is full, it's full and you can't sign up. So that means all those people that signed up without they clearly signed up without the intent of ever playing, because they never show up, have now locked out a whole bunch of people that potentially want to play. Without paying for the bot, which I'm not going to do, it's just not worth it. The bot manages all this stuff, but the bot also doesn't have a wait list. So we do run into the issue of, like, well, people will have to show up and try and sign up at the last second or something. Like, it's all logistics. It's all logistics questions, and how do we deal with them? And there's solutions to them. But for a volunteer project, and for how much grief I get from people, it's just typically not worth it. Which is the unfortunate part. I mean, that's why I stopped running Fright Night, because it was a ton of effort, and all I got was grief. Like, the amount of grief I got from running Fright Night because people were ding-dongs was enormous. And I'm not saying it was everybody. It was, only literally probably like 2 or 3 individuals, but it was just overwhelming. So it was not worth the effort. All of that to say, we're in an enormous standoff here on Opticon. Who could have possibly seen that coming with an even panic point map? That's a question for you, chat. Out of this, the big house, and it's not Moai. What's the other one that's like this where you have a ton of pillars? I think it's one of the space maps. Feels like it is. But my question is, which of these do you like the best? Sniped. We're seeing a lot of dead inoculi tonight that didn't need to die. Fire Ant. That is unfortunate for our hero. 16 keys to 10 remaining. Can probably get some relevant, well, a relevant kill here. You probably get the Hevo. Possibly get the Hevo? Yeah, I'm not even sure. You don't. Maybe you can't get the... Oh, no, you can get the Hevo. Debating back and forth internally. And a Moffat. I feel as though we see less and less displacement phobies showing up in viewer games. I'd have to go back and look, which I'm not going to do. But it does feel like we just don't get a ton. You know, we haven't gotten a game of like, oh, I booped 8 guys to death in a while. Oops, stuck in my eye. Allied displacement is the meta, making other displacement weak. Well, according to Cars, it's not as powerful as, what's it called? Doc Holiday. Because the whole Shove Shark thing was tier 2 or whatever. I think you told me that. Oh, Shove Shark was tier 1? Well, no, I thought Shove Shark Sentinel thing was tier 2 as far as, like, problematic stuff. With Doc Holiday and something else that I can't think of right now is tier 1. I think I got it. Whatever was in my eye. Sentinels were tier 2, okay. Why is Bobby, like... I don't know. I still feel trappers are a very annoying design. I don't like trappers. They inherently slow the game down, right? Like, you want to set up a trap, so it takes time to both set up the trap and then make whatever the thing is happen. And they're just irritating to play against. I'm not saying they're overpowered or anything. This is a pretty cool play. That was actually a great challenge play setup. Hold on, I want to see this again. This looked like a pretty sick play from noobsim. I mean, we get the early takedown down here on Daisy, which is like, all right, yeah, you get the Daisy kill. But watch in the north here. So we get the Gonzo setup into the challenge play pull, into the yoink to set up the kill thanks to the fire that was already there. That's actually a really cool play. Well done, noobsim. This is kind of why I want to fight people like Fidelio. Why? I don't know what Fidelio does or doesn't do. Pop in the jar. Well, they're unique. They don't run meta much, but make the regular stuff work so well. Fair. I wonder if there's a world... Well, I already know the answer to this. I'll tell you what I was going to say and then explain why it doesn't work. I was going to say, I wonder if there's a world where we get no more new phobies and then they just focus heavily on map design in order to recycle the old phobies into better usage and create new metas. Because meta is just... These are the things that are meta are the most effective in general purpose situations, so therefore you run them all the time because... you don't have to worry about finding niche scenarios. So I don't inherently have a problem with things just being meta phobies because it's just a matter of, well, this is good right now, so I use that. As long as the decisions and the gameplay is interesting, which admittedly can be a challenge if it's just, okay, well, we only use these 5 or 6 phobies. The problem is that they can't make any money that way. Because new phobies are what draw people to spend money. So if you don't have new phobies entering the pool, then people aren't going to buy packs. Or it's not that they aren't going to buy packs at all, it's just that they're going to buy, like, less packs. What happened there? So assuming that's true, they can't ever just simply focus on making maps in order to modify what is or is not meta, and create, in my opinion, a more interesting game through that methodology because they got to keep the lights on. Now, we had a repeat from dearh. We might do 11 games tonight just to try and be fair about this. Otherwise, I would have not done a painful fate game. Would have only done 2. This one. All right, dearh, how to deal with a copycat. This might sting a little. Got zappy dupes? Sweet. You love to see it. Not really. Most people don't love to see it. Jammy fish? Dude, how are people copying jammy fish? That game note is so ironic. What game note? How to deal with a copycat? I'm confused. A matchmade copied me. I mean, there's only so many phobies. Ah, there it is! Ended up surrendering because I firkined this firkin. It happens. It does, in fact, happen. Going up to 7 keys, we got the Puff. Puff's pretty good on this map. Most bombs are. Most bombs are, in fact, solid. Do we really get the identical? We're going punch for a little bit. So part of the idle animation for Jammies is it kind of like phases out of existence. It doesn't disappear entirely, but it's clearly like changing planes, I guess. So this is a bold move by our hero. Putting something on the center tile with Puff right there. Alright, at least we're moving the Puff. You're going to take heart damage, but this does give you a 4-to-1 panic point advantage temporarily. And we have Goon as the backup Blom. So I guess we can rotate it, I don't know. Takedown on the 1 key. Ooh. Alright. When you said copycat, I didn't know it was going to be to this degree. I didn't know it was going to be to this degree. An old chili chat. Bwam. Is that a dead jammy fish? That's not dead to that fire, is it? It is! Got him. Wait, 100. Is this at level 1? This must be at level 1. Actually, no, you know what? Because it only probably had 100 health left. Yeah. It's not at level 1. Chat, I'm out of water. Believe me, I need more water. I am very dehydrated. I gotta figure out how to set up my multi-stream setup, chat, so I can stream to YouTube simultaneously. Oh, that's a good blom. It's a good blom, Brent. Well, that's what bad guy gets for breaking parity and dropping a tractor on the board, I guess. Our hero with a 3-key lead, technically, although it's not all available yet. 5-key lead, if you look at it as what's available. So what is the answer here? Panic point advantage, bad guy. With Jammy Fish on the table, you can keep going up in keys, which is what we're doing. I don't know that getting to 10 really matters. It does allow you to have 6 for next turn, though. There is that. We have an Akira coming down. Remember when everybody felt a tractor was like the worst thing that could possibly happen to the game? Feels like a long time ago, doesn't it? Bwam. Does go for some heart damage, but that's not the end of the world. Really? Really? The counter Akira. Our heroes will be active first. Here's the thing. You have double Blom. So, like, you could Akira pull. This is hypothetical, but, like, you Akira pull your goon onto the stem, pull their guys into the line. Blom. Move. Put Puff on the stem. Blom. Cook them. See if it happens. It's not going to happen. Mostly because they moved the Puff out of there. There it goes. We are going to get a double bomb, though. Wait, what? I guess that's a better priority. Like, this is so tempting. Look at this line here. That's super tempting. I mean, I get it, but... I am disappointed. Yoink. There's a counter blom. Except, I don't think this is going to be good enough, bad guy. Can you get the goon? Nope, goon lives. Gonna get some big AoE hits from Akira. And you still have the bomb available. Yep. Cook him. Cook him. Cook him. Oh, you love to see it. Oh, man. That was sick. That was sick. Bwam. I think, like, I was complaining about some of the design earlier. Or, like, talking about things that, I guess, really, in my opinion, shouldn't exist in the game. Or should never be good enough that they become meta. But I think Bwams and things like them are very interesting because it encourages and rewards unique positioning. Like, in order to set up a Blom, it is very satisfying to, like, get a good one. It also allows your opponent to have counterplay because they can try and play around it, and it doesn't matter. Here's the big thing for me. It doesn't matter what the phobie is, particularly. Like, yes, certain phobies will be better against other ones, and it will matter in the sense of, like, well, if I'm over-leveled, if I'm under-leveled, if this is a counter phobie or whatever, but at the end of the day, you can positionally impact the Blom effect in a material way. And if you don't, it's very explosive. And I like that way better than a lot of other effects in the game because of that. Because it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't really matter what the phobies you're using are. It just matters that you are able to actually position properly. And anybody could learn to do that. We're going to be zoning back in on This Might Sting a Little once more. Bad Omen strikes again. Okay. Apparently, dearh is now our resident jammy fish enjoyer. But I agree, Bloms are cool. They just are. Sorry, getting some messages in Discord trying to figure out what's going on. So, dearh clearly has their game plan for this map ironed out because this seems pretty stable. Shinra uses... Does Shinra even play anymore? Wait, are you talking about Lord Shinra X, or are you talking about... Somebody else joined the Discord named Shinra, and I don't know if it's the same person. Lord Shinrax. I thought they gave up the game. They still play. I think there's a lot of people hanging on, but mostly for tourneys. Well, they dropped out of my Discord, so... Although they were always joining and leaving, which is... I don't know, maybe they're dealing with the server cap or something. I'd love to be in the position where I could just set up Monster of the Week through the bot and just let it run and we never had to worry about it and I don't have to adjudicate a million things because people refuse to read the fucking rules. But we're just never going to be in that position. This is a good heads-up Wom because you get the extra damage to chip away at the Hevo. These are, like, these little plays like that are things that at higher levels don't happen, typically. But they are cool when they do because it's like, oh, you can see, like, this person made an error. They get penalized for it. You know, they get punished for it. But it doesn't immediately end the game, and then, like, you could see the player who took advantage of it leverage that over the course of the game. As compared to what does kind of happen at a lot of high-level games where it's like, oh, you mess this up, you just kind of auto-lose because now all the dominoes fall. Which, I mean, that's what's going to happen at high-level stuff anyway, but it is what it is. Phantom? I thought this was a Bad Omen game. Oh, there's Bad Omen. I want to see somebody Akira their opponent's entire team together, and then you Bad Omen their entire team. There has to be a more optimal play in that scenario, but I think it would be hilarious if that happened. I think it'd be very funny. That's a puff. It's a little late, bad guy. It's a little late at this stage, but... Jammy-fish is such an interesting phobie, but I just don't feel like it... Who was using it for a while? Was it DT? I forgot who started using it first, but whoever did... We were, like, really trying to dive into their games to figure out, is Jammy-fish worth it? Like, could you have just waited a turn? It wouldn't have mattered. And occasionally it did matter, I think. It's just such an incredibly difficult thing to evaluate. And the poison chip damage has begun. But we are going to get the Akira, so maybe we are going to see the dream of the Akira Bad Omen play. Yeah, maybe it was Crowley. I don't remember. I always loved the idea that players had, like, signature phobies where it's like, this player... Like, everybody could use Puff, but, like, this player is really good with Puff. Or everybody used Jammy-fish, but this player was really good with Jammy-fish. Or whatever it happened to be. And, it made it interesting... Where it's like, okay, are they going to be able to set this up? Or does the other player, knowing that, like, player B knows that player A uses whatever phobie, so then they preemptively try and counter it, but that causes this other wrinkle, and it led to interesting game states. Kira. What? Are you going to droney this? Yep. Your signature phobia is rotating? What does that mean? Phantom? Hercules most used and beloved. Wait, what? I don't think I've ever seen you use Hercules. Have I? Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like you're way more well-known for using Phantom. Pterodactyl. Okay. Top 3 of Chuck, Herc, and 2.0. Interesting. Yoink. Bwam. Oh, baby, look at it. This is actually going to be a sick Bad Omen. This is almost the entirety of the team. That's a pretty damn good Bad Omen, I'm not going to lie. Hey, wall. Sure. Jammy does go down. Like, that's an enormous amount of effort to barely kill that Bad Omen. Alright, so that's a dead Puff. I doubt you can kill the pterodactyl. That just seems incredibly unlikely. I guess it's not impossible, but... We're just going to claim a monstrous panic... Well, maybe not monstrous, but a decent panic point advantage. Especially at this stage in the game. Bad guy can't really stand and fight. They're going to try? I mean, I don't know what their alternatives are, but this doesn't seem like a winning line. Our hero's on the stem. That pterodactyl's just gonna get cooked. Quite literally. Charred bones. Bad guy stuff is now active, but, like, there's just too many actions for our hero. It's just not gonna happen. Stop trying to make fetch happen. It's funny, the Akira is just straight up not moving. Okay, there it is. Now it's moving. Panic point advantage. Bad guy has, like, nothing to their name. Would they have been able to... Nah, probably not. I was going to say, what if they ran the mother load to the stem and then tried to race? But I mean, we know they're dead this turn, but there's just too much damage in the north. That's the main reason. Although, I guess the panic points probably get them too. Wham! Off the stem. Well played. GG. Alright, what do we got? Got a mech-ode game. Alright, mech-ode. Our hero here bullying my opponent into submission. Barely. We haven't seen a mech-ode game in some time. Haven't seen a mech-ode game in some time. Bad guy leading off with Bow Mangles. Hero leading off with Hexy. Hexy looks really cool. I'm not really clear on why it only has one eye. Why does Hexy hate depth perception? So I always thought on the model that the two, like, see the two, excuse me, see the two threads that are coming out of Hexy's left arm? I always thought of them as fingers, but I guess they're actually supposed to be, like, the end, because if you look at the other arm, it's a nub. So I guess that side is also supposed to be sealed. And that's like the internal stuffing. I'm not clear on which that's supposed to be honest. What? What? Bad sushi? Alright, we know bad guy's trolling now. Well, we're loading up to blow up the sushi, I guess. We have the tools. Why did this only take 140? It did come up and say 140, right? Am I imagining things? Because it should be 240. What'd I miss? It seemed like it was just a visual bug. That is, in fact, a bad sushi connection. You heard it here first. XE down. Conductor? What? I don't think that even works with bad sushi. Bonk. Here comes Noxus. Honestly, not terrible right now, I guess. This game is weird. There's 36... Oh. There are 36 turns to this game. Why? Okay. We have conducted. Fair enough. 4 keys to 4. Oh, bad guy, what are you doing? So now everything's bunched for Noxus. Yep. Power down on conductor. Fair enough. I was about to say, if you don't body block for that jar, it's dead. Alright, we're out of keys. This is how the game ends. Is Haffy doing a good job? Guess that's up for debate. I will say Haffy soaked a ton of damage there. I didn't hate the usage in this case. If you look at it as Haffy being like a weird set of 2 muffins, that's not like a terrible setup that you just had. Why do we position like that? I guess because you just don't want to have the Woolly Bully get beat up because you're cooked right now otherwise. How do you win this? I have legitimately no idea how you win this. I guess the poison's going to put in a lot of work. Hypothetically? That's tough. Imagine if Conductor was ranged. Is Bad Side Manners the only undead that bites? What? Like, I'm trying to think of the attack animation for the jackalopes. They just headbutt, right? Cassowary jumps. Funnily enough, Car's suggested rework is to make Maestro 2 range. Why not? Dude, I can't believe the Rusty got them out of this. This is insane. It just said 140. Oh, this is a 300 power down. Okay, that's different. I could have sworn it said 140 earlier with the Bad Omen, which was only a 200 power down. I mean, our hero is losing, technically. It's mech-ode that does it? Does what? I assume we're going to get another power down. I actually like this positioning a lot. Like, this is a cute idea because it prevents bad guy from taking the stim. What a weird game. What a strange, strange game. I don't really know what to say about this one. But then I am getting very tired all of a sudden. Like, I'm hitting my wall. I've been streaming for like 8 hours now. GG. Caramel cake? Sounds gross. Alright, we got 3 more games, chat. Hopefully they're not 40-turn games of nonsense. But it's a Master Dark game, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's like 80 turns of nonsense. Master Dark returning to viewer games. Been a few months since I set a game to review, so let's enjoy my return with a beautiful Smother Mother mirror in Some of All Fears 3. Aqua would be proud. Well, we'll have to see what Aqua says. I don't know who Aqua is. I don't know who that is. Alright, fairly standard opener into a Daisy, which is anything but standard at this point. You know the Ratatouille guy who participated in Monster of the Week? Yeah, I know. I know who Master Dark is. Master Dark is... I don't want to say part of the OG crew, because that would be... like, it's funny because the way Phobies has worked over the last few years is, like, it's in waves. Like, I saw A-Trend logging in the other day, not to Phobies, but, like, into Discord. And A-Trend was what part of the OG crew. Like, DT is part of the OG crew. Luffy's the OG crew. Masterdarksh is, I think, in the second wave. Shout out to the blue avatar, though. I imagine we'll get, like, red or purple or whatever, and one of them will be disease, one of them will be poison. Stuff like that. Flesh crawler, huh? Is Masterdarksh just trolling? I mean, they said it was Sum of All Fears 3 and Smother Mother, so it has to be, to a degree, it's a troll, right? Masterdarksh likes off-meta stuff. I mean, that is true. That's his whole gimmick. Yes and no. I mean, there's a point where, like, being off-meta, intentionally off-meta, becomes... like, you become predictable. People love to obsess over, oh, well, I play off-meta stuff, so you don't know what I'm doing, you don't know... But, like, everybody has tendencies. That's a Smother Mother. Okay. Getting a couple picks here. It's a 4-to-1 panic point advantage for bad guy. Gotta respect the Smother Mother, I guess. I mean, Masterdarksh was pushing for Ice Cream for a very long time. Tried very hard to make that work. It always felt kind of mid. I think it was fine, but... it was never spectacular, I don't think. AWOL, adding more tentacles to the mix. And we already have Flesh Crawler, so we got tentacles everywhere. Tentacles! Dude, the tentacles didn't kill the freaking AWOL. That's kind of funny. We will get a double kill there. Pushes a bunch of damage. Ooh, triple kill. This was a good invade. Alright. Alright, we're cooking. And the counter Smother Mother. So I'm sure bad guy tried this, but there's a world where you move forward with the Smother Mother, pull Masterdarksh Smother Mother, and then boop with the Hevo. I don't know if that pushes it into the pit. I have a feeling it doesn't. But it would be a sick play if it did. Sabian. You know, I've never seen Battlestar Galactica, chat. I mean, I've seen clips of it or, like, parts of it, but I've never watched that show. Ooh. Oof size large. Bad guy getting cooked here. They got, like, no value out of this Evo 2.0, or the Smother Mother, for that matter. Well, not no value out of the Smother Mother. You did clip the Flesh Crawler, but not great. It's not great. Don't love it. Bad guy getting some trades here, but I mean, our hero's pretty far ahead. This is what I was talking about earlier, where these are some classic displacement tools. Yoink. This can't be dead, can it? Oh my god, really? Wow. Notably, we have a few different... Well, not a few, but we have 2 different groupings of 2 that could get tagged by the Bad Omen. We're probably going to go after the Smother Mother, I guess. Smother Mother Daisy. Yeah, especially since you can probably just kill these. Could you not have saved the fireball there? You just move and punch it? They had to have been able to do that. That seems like a mistake. What's that noise? What noise? Is there a noise now? Oh, that clacking noise? I'm playing with these. I'm just doing this. It's 2 poker chips and then an initiative token I got from a tournament. Which is like, I assume aluminum. I don't actually know what material it is. That was loud. That was me banging it on the desk. I usually have something that I'm fiddling with when we're streaming these games. I usually have a toy, or I have dice, or I have cards, or I have the tokens, or, you know, pen. Dude, masterdarksh Smother Mother is tanking everything. Bad guy in shambles. Can't get the challenge play there, but you do get the kill here anyway. Ooh, got him with the pole. Well played. GG. GG. Masterdarksh. Yeah, Masterdarksh. I wonder if Smother Mother was Masterdarksh's first off-meta thing. I kind of remember that being the case. I could be wrong. I kind of remember it being Smother Mother, so it's somewhat of a return to form. Alright, speaking of some of the old guard, to a degree, we got Potenzia as the bad guy. PvZ, our hero. Friendly competitive game with Potenzia to remove some of his rust. Coming back to the game. Coming back to the game. Yeah, I'm still very anxious to see what they do. I don't know what the devs' plan is. I just don't. I know they were in talks with Karst, allegedly for balance stuff. But I keep saying it, like, I don't particularly care about the specific balance changes. I care about the balance philosophy. The balance philosophy is the big thing. You hate his heavy Russell usage. There was a time where Russell was considered unplayable. Seems like a long time ago. It kind of was a long time ago, I guess. Phantom. Yeah, it probably was a long time ago that it was unplayable, or considered unplayable. Alright, trading, or well, not trading, but losing some 1 keys here. Blondie is the follow-up for Phantom. Alright, alright. Interesting that we got 2 games in a row on this map, but this is not a map that typically shows up for viewer game reviews. Maybe I need to start streaming earlier. Because, like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm just, like, at this time of night, I'm typically fucking wiped. You hit him with a special one? The Blondie? Smiley? Dude, Smiley can reach so far via Phantom like that. It's actually pretty sick. I don't think they can kill that. Well, I guess they could. Yeah. Could kill the Smiley, but you're going to have to disease more shit. Why hit the Smiley once with the Jin Sting? Nothing else can reach it where it was. Not right now. And you might as well put in the effort to kill the Smiley. That seems weird. It smells like my wife is making hamburgers right now. It's very late at night to be making hamburgers. Am I having a stroke? She's definitely cooking. And not in the colloquial sense. She's, like, literally cooking. But I don't know what she's cooking. It smells like hamburgers, and it is definitely not time for hamburgers right now. Russell! Imagine if there was a Russell, but it distributed disease. Dude, how toxic would that be? No pun intended. It would have to be like 25 disease, and even then it would be so toxic. The Zomboni? Look at these plays, chat. Oh my god, Zomboni. That was your counter? I mean, we've seen Zomboni do it. We've seen Leshy do it. I remember seeing a Markand in a... I think it was a Fright Night. Put on a showcase with Leshy. It was sick. Ooh, a little bad sheep action. I see your poison. I raise you a bad sheep. 5 keys to 5 keys. The thing is, Potenzia has to do something. Like, Hematic will die. It's possible that Smiley lives. No, it's not. Smiley's dead. Cassowary's gonna die. Alright, we're gonna heal Hematic for reasons. Are you sure? Of what? What are we doing here? Alright, so this lets the teleport happen. We're obviously going after Russell. That's pretty sick. I don't know the sequence offhand of... I assume you would... If Smiley dies, you would disease first, right? Down goes Cassowary. Down goes Smiley. But the damage is done. The damage specifically being addition of disease. Smiley does not die due to its buffs. Fair. The counter Smiley. God knows what reason. However, Bad Sheep does look way less attractive right now. Not just because of the disease, but in general. Heart Explosion. I'm a little surprised you didn't save that. Is it going to die this turn or something? You needed it to kill Smiley. Does it actually do more damage? I mean, you get more poison damage. Okay, so you needed the poison damage specifically to get it. Because the regular attack does more damage. Like base damage. Was the droney to prevent that? Because if it was, that was a great heads-up play. Nice, nice. That's a good play. Pop the droney. Clear the matic. The double healer feels a little awkward, but if you wait out the rustle... Problem is the rustle can activate again, or should be able to soon. Yeah, there it is. Zamboni was my clutch. I mean, it seems pretty good right now. Although, he's going to have to sacrifice his life for this, I think. It's going to be difficult for you to get it to connect. There's the heal. Heard it here first, folks. Zamboni. New meta. Tenzia has to advance, because gotta claim some panic points. Really? Why? Oh, I thought the Russell was going to tank it, but I guess it didn't matter. All right. This one kind of feels like it was over 3 turns ago, 4 turns ago, 5 turns ago. The Smiley put in a lot of work. The Zamboni play made it survive the poison tick. Interesting. All right. I mean, if it didn't, I don't know that it matters. I think they're... But Tenzi is dead anyway. Tenzi is cooked anyway. All right, last game of the evening, chat. This one. It is, in fact, a shorter game, funky arena game that was rather interesting. All right, let's see. Let us see. He's a coper? Why? What was he coping with or about? Bad guy leading with the grave digger. Are we gonna get a heebie-jeebies special? In Discord, he's trying to come up with ways of how he wasn't losing to me. The thing is, Smiley wasn't good for a very long time. Like, I think it's easy to fall into the trap of... Especially if you weren't playing for a while and then you come back and stuff. Like, it's very easy to fall in the trap of, like, well, this Phobie wasn't good, so it must not be good now. It's like, yeah, it got buffs, but it can't be that much better. But it's difficult when we're talking, you know, like break points and things along those lines, where it's very easy to mistake a minor buff for an actually dramatically impactful one. Or nerf, for that matter. Blasto. Why that obstacle? I feel like you'd rather break the dead center one, so that way you get better angles for Blasto. But ultimately, you're going to need a Phantom, or you're going to need a Shove Shark or something to try and get it. Banter like that is fun if people don't get offended, though not usually well received in strategy games like this instead of an RTS or MOBA. I don't think it's well received in an RTS or a MOBA either. I think I think in this, it's going to be way better. Like, it's way more likely to be received positively. Only because it's through Discord, right? If you go like, oh, you threw by doing this in a MOBA, people will melt the fuck down. And depending on the RTS, you may just not have time to type it until the end of the game. If you go out of your way to join a community like this, you're already in the 0.001% of the player base. Yeah, like, if you're... Here's the thing. I don't think any game should have in-game chat. Like, team chat, yes. But there's, like, literally no reason to ever communicate with your opponent in a competitive game. Most of the time. Like, I mean, if I'm... There are games that I'll play. That's a good phantom here. Yikes. Not dead, but that hurts. Smite 2 has voice that you don't even sign up for and say... Wait, what? Well, like, it just auto-drops you in voice? That seems like a mistake in this modern age. That cannot possibly be healthy. That has to be toxic. That has to be toxic as fuck, right? I mean, maybe they have great moderation, but I imagine you're either going to hear somebody shrieking in the background, or someone just hard, heavy breathing into the mic, somebody imitating sex noises, and then someone else screaming slurs. Like, those are the only things. Everyone else is going to turn their fucking mic off. I don't even know what happened in Smite 2. Like, what is the upgrade on Smite 1? They probably upgraded the engine, but I'm sure they realized they can't make any more money because everybody that was playing already had the grandfather pack that gives them everything. So they had to launch a new client, therefore to force everyone to buy it. Like, is that the timeline? I don't know how this worked. Kablamo. Big reflect damage there. The Zappy lived. Holy shit. That is not good for you, bad guy. Some mastery system or something to give out game change to the god. It's fun if you like the first. I mean, I liked Smite. It's just, there's another MOBA called Predecessor, which is like, it's similar to Smite because it's a first-person MOBA that looked interesting. But every MOBA thinks that with the exception of Heroes and a handful of others, feels that the minutia and the bean counting are the fun parts of the game. Heroes was the only one, and like I said, like maybe one other, that tried to fundamentally change core elements of it. Or what I guess are considered core elements of the genre, like last hitting and just having gold in general, and the whole item bullshit, which is tied to gold. Now Heroes also took it another step further. I like Smite 2 because what I do individually doesn't feel like I solo lose the game for the team since I'm new. I mean, that's another element of MOBAs that I think is objectively bad, that people love, and I think it's cope. That it's like, well, we're going to be an entire team that's going to buff this one guy, and nothing else we do matters because that guy's going to carry us. I'm like, that sounds like terrible gameplay. But do you feel that your lack of impact... negative impact, I guess, in this case, in Smite games is just because you're at low ranks. So it's like everyone's being a dingus, so it doesn't matter. Is this a stemmed bull rush? You have a stemmed bull rush. PvZ, you are getting cooked here. What is happening? Well, never mind. I thought the Mr. Tramples was healthy. I didn't realize how damaged it was. I didn't mean a lack of impact. I'm feeding my ass off, but I'm split pushing, and as soon as I have an answer, my team can take an objective. Well, but like, that's what I'm saying. Do you think that you're able to do that because it's low rank and therefore people are not really capable of capitalizing on it as well. Hi, Noodle. Come here, good boy. Come here, good boy. It's the good boy. GG. It's a good boy. You're the good boy. You're a good boy. He's ready for bed. You had a busy day. Made lots of new friends today. Dog. This is my good boy Noodle. He is the king of dogs. This is the one that I was posting pictures of. Cutie and dog. Ah. He's a good boy. He's a menace, but he's a good boy. All right, go get mommy. Go get mama. No, that way. That way. Noodle, go that way. Good boy. Go get mama. Where's mama? Where's mommy? Will you call him? Oh, you didn't. The one stream he straight ruined is among my favorites. Yeah, because he just like... I told you, he's a fucking menace. He's a good boy, but he's a menace. I was trying really hard to play that stream, like actually do that stream, but it just was not working. It was just not going to happen. I do want to, like, I gotta rearrange, like, once I get, like, all the containers and stuff off the floor. We have a dog bed for him, so I'm gonna set that up, and then we'll set up the dog camera. But it's not there yet. Plus, he's not really interested in hanging out down here most of the time. Like, maybe if my wife goes down to the beach or something and takes the kids and it's just me and him, he might hang out down here. But if there's other people in the house, he'd rather be upstairs. He doesn't care about being down here. So, we'll see. For sure, I'm dog new tier rank. Wait, what? I'm dog new tier rank, and I have MOBA skills and hands that work, so it's really not fair. Fair. All right, chat. Tomorrow, probably gonna have a Star Wars stream. We're gonna do a live stream. I typed dog before the actual dog showed up. That's why I was confused. I'm like rereading it because I'm like, wait a minute. Probably have a Star Wars stream tomorrow. IRL stream. I'm curious. So I've been doing them on YouTube. You guys will have to let me know if you're here on the live stream or if you're watching this on YouTube. If you watch the YouTube streams or do you only watch the Twitch streams? Excited for the Hunt stream? Yeah. I haven't played a Hunt in a long time. I gotta, dude, you weren't here, Luffy. You gotta be here for the Look Outside streams. Because that game is actually batshit. I should not be laughing as much as I am at that game. It's actually insane. It's like, I don't think it's supposed to be hilarious. It's supposed to be a horror game, but it was actually funny. You got it yourself? Were you there for, like, you gotta watch the VOD and tell me what you think. No spoilers, though. No spoilers. I'm excited. I kind of want to play it off stream. Maybe I'll play it off stream and record those. And then I was there for a good bit. I told you to pick the option. Dude, this game is so funny. There's no reality where it's supposed to be funny. They did not design this game to be as hilarious as it is to me. And so it's deranged. It's actually unhinged. Oh my god, we gotta play that game again. I do want to finish Urtuk, but now I'm like, man, I really want to play Look Outside, and I almost didn't buy it. Like, I was gonna buy it, but I almost didn't buy it on Friday to stream. And I'm like, you know what? I kind of just feel like playing something new, so we're gonna do this. And I'm glad I did, because it's funny. But anyway, chat, that's enough. We'll be back with more streams. That's it. As always, everybody, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Tune in next time for more Random Thoughts.